Hi, everybody,
Come on in a little bit more.
and welcome. That's all I can do. Welcome to the Intuitive Angel
An incredibly professional Facebook Live show.
Facebook Live show.
Where we have
Hi,
fun.
see,
It's
we're-
incredibly
we're-
alive.
We're very
It is.
professional here, and I'm sorry about that. Okay, but anyway, this is Kristin Panek.
Your new girlfriend?
Why not?
Woo!
All right. Well, this will be my retirement show from the Facebook Live program.
We're a
All
little
right.
slap happy.
Take it away, Amy.
Okay, yay. We're slap happy because the darn Venus energy is finally going away. Because as most of you know, because I've been telling you, Venus has been in retrograde, and on the 15th, it finally ends. So we don't have all the pressure of wondering if we're good enough, which is a disgusting thing to wonder about. Now we're going to just know, and it's going to be so good. So if you feel a little slap happy or a little crazy or a little sarcastic, it's normal because you're returning kind of back to normal and you just feel so excited. Sort of like a 3-year-old at a song fest, and she's running around and being crazy. That's what you're going to feel like. Can you tell I just had that experience with my granddaughter? Yeah, I just had that experience. She was a crazy woman. But then again, so was I, so we were good. So this is Kristin Panek. Hello, Kristin.
Hi.
You know how I like to tell stories. So Kristin is instrumental in my spiritual growth. So everybody thinks I like popped out of my mother's womb all cool and everything. No, wasn't that way at all. So for a lot of you, it wasn't that way at all. So it took a lot of journeying. For me, I threw myself around the world and did all kinds of wild and crazy things and had many experiences, spiritual experiences. I was elated, I was defeated, I did all this stuff. So one of the experiences I had was oneness blessing. So, and it comes out of India, and Kristin's going to explain it to you, but it was the first time I experienced something that it would be called ecstasy or oneness or enlightenment. It depends on how you look at it. But it's a very disassociative, exciting, wonderful state, okay? And Kristin anchors oneness in our area and in a large part of the world. And she's here tonight not only to help with doing readings and be my friend, but she's also here to talk about her journey and a wonderful way you can join. Okay? Take it away, Kristin.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. That's awesome. And Amy was my first experience of an intuitive reading, and I got one of her pictures, and I was so excited. I still have it. I think it was, 15, 20 years ago? I don't know.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
So,
You've
very
had Chakra
grateful.
guy that long, huh?
Oh my God. And you know, people still come and they'll have their folder and they'll have Chakra Guy from 25 years ago. One lady even came 29 years. That's how long I've been doing it.
That's Chakra
This
guy.
is what Chakra Guy looks like. I was going to do, the or the Da Vinci guy with his arms out, do the chakras, but Chakra Guy seemed more appropriate.
Well, I laminated mine.
You did? Yeah.
That's how
You
much
haven't
I-
given up that anal part yet, right? We're still who we are.
That's right. Still hanging on.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, oneness has been quite the journey for me. It's been instrumental in kind of reducing the conflict up here. Very, very intellectual and very analytical. And it took the powerful energy of the oneness blessing to calm that down so I could actually drop into my heart. And so it's been quite the journey for probably 9 years now.
We were just talking about trusting the journey, and we make it look so easy, don't we? We still worry about it. Just so you know. It's just that we worry less, right?
Well, I trust more.
Yeah.
So in the face of a challenge, I know it's for my good.
Mm-hmm.
So I trust it. It doesn't mean I don't freak out at times. In fact, I woke up the last few mornings.
Yeah.
I woke up the last few mornings in sheer terror. And I lay there and let the terror, the fear run. I just let it run through the whole system until it's done, and then I reconnect in here and get out of bed. But I don't get out of bed.
Who out there has woken up in sheer terror? Give us a like, wave us. And you know, the thing is that the gurus and the people out there will tell you that you can move into bliss. What they don't say is it's not, for me at least, and for people here in North America, it's not a constant state. And it's good it's not, you know? I mean, because if it wasn't, who would do the laundry? You know, that's really the way it works. Who would go and do the shopping? Who would go up on Peapod and order the groceries? Nobody, because we just all be drooling on ourselves. So we live in a more materialistic society, and in our society, no one would take care of us if we were in bliss. They wouldn't throw us food or anything. They'd probably put us away someplace. So we have to maintain, and it's good because evolutionarily, I think that's what's happening. It's supposed to be that way.
Oh, I agree. We're supposed to live in, I mean, we have our 5 senses, so we're supposed to
Live
enjoy,
in the sensory world, right?
you know, eat good food, listen to beautiful music, see beautiful painting. I mean, it's all part of the experience. So.
It is, make jokes.
Yeah.
Laugh a little bit, wake up in sheer terror. You know?
But at least with the terror, because I can feel it, I can also feel the bliss and the joy. You know, I used to shut down the terror because I couldn't go there, but then I shut down my bliss and joy as well. So I used to live in this little, like, range here, the numb range.
I know.
That was my corporate world experience. But.
So I want to, before I have you take off and explain everything, I wanted to talk a little bit about evolution and energy and how it all works. So I was, back in 1985, I didn't die, which is good. And I've had many instances where I didn't die, which has been good because I'm supposed to be here at this time when evolution is happening. So evolution, energy-wise, is shifting your chakras. So that's why I wanted to do chakra drawings, because I wanted to see if I did a whole bunch of them all at one time, what would I see? What would be there that was different than normal, okay? And I only did, I limited myself to 3 each. Otherwise, really, we'd have a Facebook Live marathon where we'd be here forever and ever. And so I do these kinds of readings always with my clients the first several times they come, because I like to get a handle on their energy. And sure enough, with 60 of them to do, I noticed definite trends. And the trends were, I was laughing hysterically because your comfort is not part of the angelic realm's plan right now.
Definitely not.
You're testing your faith, but not in a, I mean, nobody's being cruel, but the idea that here's where you're going, and you're told here's where you're going, and then this is the way to do it gracefully, and then if you choose not to, well, too bad. Because there's always the answers or the solutions, because both of us, we started on that path where we devoted ourselves to the divine, and we certainly don't have mega churches where they're bringing in millions of dollars, right? And my corporate jet just never manifested.
Neither.
Yeah, so hers either. So we do have to have a certain amount of faith that there'll be money there to pay the electric bill, that I'll continue to pay AT&T, so I'll have the iPad. It's practical in order to reach out to you. And so all of you, every single one of you, I was doing your drawings, and every single one of you had that same kind of threshold of faith. You know, like, where am I? What? My God, this isn't what I planned, and not in a bad way. Some of you are going to be well known, and I know you don't want to be. So it's beautiful when you look at the whole thing. So please stay tuned for the whole show, and you can see all the drawings and see our input and laugh with us and laugh with Dave, who's busy typing away. And now we're going to take it over to Kristin. So now, Kristin, you've been to India how many times?
I think 10.
10, just like I used to go to Brazil, because we're crazy.
Right.
Okay, so, and to what end?
Freedom, basically.
Okay.
You know, I told you about this crazy mind, and even still, the mind will go crazy, and I'll watch it and see how I believe stories I'm telling about other people instead of going inside and seeing what's going on. So the Oneness University, where I go to in southern India, it's a small spiritual school, and they are hugely effective at making changes in the brain. So they give you teachings, basic spiritual teachings that underlie all the religions. Oneness is not aligned with any particular faith or lineage. It's a phenomenon. And so a phenomenon means it's on this planet for a window of time, and the purpose is to set us free, totally and unconditionally free. And in that state we experience causeless joy, causeless love, causeless freedom. That's their role. And we're here, their phenomenon is here because as a species we've been asking for help.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And
I
this
agree.
is in response to that. It's to give us a leap forward in consciousness. And this particular form of energy that gets transmitted through it is so powerful it accelerates whatever you're doing. And it actually, when you receive a oneness blessing, for example, which comes in many forms, sometimes people put hands over your head, sometimes it comes from the heart, but when you receive a blessing, it actually starts to make physical changes in your brain. Because if you've seen the scans of monks who've meditated for 30 years, their brains look different than our brains.
The corpus callosum gets much bigger so that the right and left sides of their brain connect. I'm a geek, I can't help it. Okay.
That's cool. And so at Oneness, actually, at the beginning, at the end of each week of the course, they'll tell you what percentage of your brain has changed. They can tune in and see what your brain looks like, so that's kind of cool. It's very fun just to get some feedback like that. But the change in the brain is actually your capacity to be present. So for example, if you have a 50% change in your brain, then you have huge capacity to be present for a period of time. Meditation in your daily life, tuning into guidance, intuition, all of that. So it's really powerful. It's very fun. And their teachings are the basic truths, but they come with experiential an experience. So it's not just you're receiving teachings, they're going inside and becoming a part of who you are.
I love that. I do.
So it's not a mind thing at all. It's a process. It puts you in a process. So there's measurable growth. I mean, I've had healing of all my major relationships, and I've had huge, incredible change in focus and creativity, because I don't get caught up in the stories, and also all of that attention goes right to what I'm doing. And but it's the relationship healing that for me is the most rewarding.
Okay.
Because when relationships are good, their life is good.
Okay, perfect. So, how does the audience? I know everybody out there is from all over the world. How do they learn more? I know you have your own spiritual center. What kind of events are coming up that they might want to attend?
Well, my spiritual center, just since you mentioned it, is Flowering Heart Center. We're in Downers Grove, and we do blessings every Monday and Wednesday night. So you can find us on the web, floweringheartcenter.org.
And there's also a link on the page for this radio show, or not radio show, Facebook Live show. Okay, cool. All right.
And we are producing a huge weekend called The Phenomenon and the Gift, and it's taught by the teachers over at Oneness University, the ones that teach the courses I go to, and they're fabulous. So it's a 2-day experience. We have 8 cities linked up for the July 1st and 2nd, because they're teaching from India, from inside the temple. So the Oneness Temple in India is a huge PowerPoint.
Okay.
You walk in and your chakras start aligning and opening up, and when you go to India, they do processes inside of that temple. It's like being in another dimension. So they're teaching from inside there over Zoom. So you get that energy of the temple coming right through. And it's a very practical 2-day weekend. You get very practical tools for manifesting. You can bring one desire that you want to manifest through the whole process.
Okay.
And
Can I manifest money?
You could. Well, you could. You could.
I
So
already manifested a boyfriend, so hey.
I've been manifesting money anyways.
It's true, but I just like a little more.
Okay. Something more
A
inspiring
10%
maybe.
increase.
So maybe
Okay.
you go for what would you do with that money?
All right.
And focus on that. 'Cause
Okay, I
that's a
got
little
it.
more
I got it.
inspiring.
I'd like to manifest more money so I can give some to Kristin.
Well, I can get behind.
I'm just teasing.
Aw.
What
You
am
know-
I, chopped liver?
Okay, so I can give some to
You're
Deb.
my new boyfriend.
Wait a
so
minute, wait a
you
minute.
can-
That means I have to manifest 2 times more. Because now everyone's sucking at me. I'm teasing. You know,
More for everyone. That's what
I
we
think
want.
in this process, being at your place a couple of times, having had phenomenal experiences, and I mean really extra kind of bizarre, strange, phenomenal experiences. So if you're looking out there in spirituality to have an experience that's going to curl your toes and make your socks pop off, this is it.
Don't scare him away.
I'm not scaring you. It's good. Because the act of receiving the oneness blessing can cause a limited, not a full, but a limited a kind of a kundalini experience where all your chakras line up. It happens not because you want it to. So can I tell the Guru Doug story? Remember him?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm at Kristin's house, and I went, and it was a long ride, and my back was hurting. And I get there, and we go downstairs where she has her sessions, and this guru had come in, and he was he from?
Oh, no,
New
he
York?
wouldn't call himself a guru.
I know, but okay, he was
He's a guide.
a guide.
Spiritual leader.
Spiritual leader. He was unassuming. Okay,
Yes.
he was nice. Although he did have an iPad, which I,
Of course.
because I was feeling cranky, I thought, well, here he is, this kind of monk. What's he doing with an iPad? Although now all monks have iPads. It's normal.
The tools of the
The
trade.
tools of the trade. So anyway, he was up front, and there were all these people there, and I was sitting way in the back. And he was going to come, and I had experienced in California the laying on of the hands, the oneness blessing. And I was really excited to have this very powerful, centered, spiritual gentleman put his hands on me. But there were so many questions that in the end, he decided he was going to do eye diksha, which is the blessing just by looking at you. So I was angry. Because I really wanted him to lay hands on, and that's why I'd driven all that way. And so he started looking, at the first row and then the second. Of course, I'm all the way in the back, right? And I was like, scratching my leg and wiggling in my chair. And I honestly didn't expect anything, okay? As a matter of fact, I expect less than anything because I was angry. And he looked at me, he glanced at me, and I went into bliss. Drooling on myself, total and complete bliss. Couldn't even say my name. Everyone around me took on different faces. So I saw they're more soul bodies rather than what they actually look like. I went upstairs, and Kristin had been kind enough to make some nice hors d'oeuvres, and I pulled up a chair and ate them all. Bad behavior. But bliss can make you really hungry.
That's a common reaction.
It's a common reaction. So what I'm trying to say is it's not how you look. There's no placebo effect. There's not just because you want it, you're going to have it, or the people who say, oh yeah, I had that experience. Because you can be cranky and in pain and just not a nice person, and poof, you have this. Just so long as you're willing to connect. And that one little thing, that willingness to have an experience is amazing. So I can't only imagine. I've only seen it on TV once, but I was distracted. I just think it's going to be absolutely amazing weekend.
Yeah, and now there's a new form of the blessing called the Golden Orb Meditation, which people who go through the weekend are initiated to give, and it's it's really beautiful, powerful meditation from the heart. And
So then if you have a healing practice or a center or something, you could take it back or share it with your friends?
sure, anytime, anywhere with people, and so it's really beautiful. And these phenomenon and gift weekends are happening every weekend somewhere across the world. Like they had them in Moscow, Uruguay, and Brazil last month, and each one had like 1,000 people in one place.
Wow.
I mean, it's just growing like crazy
We
across
had one
the
in
world.
Washington, D.C.
Well, they did. They just had it in Washington,
Did
D.C.
they
in
really?
March. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool.
So this one in July is Chicago, Cincinnati, Wichita, Houston, Calgary, L.A., and Orange County, California.
So how do they know they can click on the link? How do they get hold of you to sign up? And is it expensive or what is the deal?
It's not. It's $399 if you sign up by April 30th. And you can actually get to it on Facebook if you go on the Oneness University Phenomenon and Gift page on the Facebook.
Of course.
And on the left bar there's events, you can click on that and you can go down to the city you want. So Chicago is one of the ones listed there. So that's the easiest way to find it. Or you can go onto the floweringheartcenter.org website and get to it through there.
Okay, and you have a Facebook page too, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Flowering Heart Center
Okay.
Facebook. Yeah.
All right, so chakras. I know some of you had written that you never...
By the way, Amy, before we shift gears,
Okay.
what's happening tomorrow?
We're going to do, it's not your normal dowsing. So dowsing is a very interesting way of connecting with the truth and all of the facts that your subconscious sees. So in this room, there's probably 10,000 things to see where we're sitting. Each brick, each everything, aha. So your subconscious protects you by letting you only see between 1% and 2% of it. So when you are dowsing, you connect through the idiomotor response. I know this is more than you guys want to know, but the little muscular little twitches in your fingertips, you hold on to the little pendulum, and when you ask a question, it's one of the few methodologies for connecting directly to your subconscious and getting information your consciousness isn't aware of. So it's very good for diagnostics, for diagnosing things, because actually, and this is funny, but you know what's happening with you. You know what's wrong with you. You just blank it out. You don't want to hear about it, or you think the doctor knows everything. The question, does he love me? Well, the big question is, do you love you? And so then you can use the pendulum to come up with some pretty exciting information. And the thing about dowsing is that it's used universally around the world to do things like find water sources for wells, to drill for oil. It's used to go to huge amounts of data. Even in computer things where they have sheets and sheets and sheets, you can dowse to find out where there's an error.
Oh, well, Amy,
Yeah,
what's all this talk of dowsing in relation to?
I'm having a class tomorrow night.
Okay.
So we're actually going to, the
It's the
big thing,
mediumship and psychic development.
psychic development, the big thing with dowsing is charts. So you want to have, you want to be able to bring your questions down to a point. Normal yes, no is my spirit there. It's fun, but it's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for being able to get some pretty pithy information. I even have a chart that tells you which chart to use. So each person is going to get a whole portfolio full of charts. We have various pendulums that we're going to be letting you use. You can bring your own to the class. We're going to do information for ourselves, and then we'll do information for somebody else. And so it's going to be a really information-packed 2 hours. And when you leave here, you'll be able to use it for your family and your friends. You won't be a dowsing master, but you'll have a really good grip on it. And that's why we'd love you to come to the class. It's from 7 to 9. Also, on the Intuitive Angel Psychic Development class group page, there is a video about it that I made a few weeks ago, so you can ask to join that group, and you can go up and look at dowsing, and I've included some dowsing charts on that page too, so if you're somewhere far, far away, you can still participate.
Amy, how much does this class cost?
Isn't it great? A little sarcastic, but great. It's by donation. And Kristin and I were just talking about the faith of having something by donation. You know, sometimes you want to come to a class and you're so excited and it's really expensive. And so you can't do it. I don't ever want you to use that as a reason not to come to one of our classes. Our classes are about communion, about camaraderie, about walking the path together. If you have money, great, share it. If you don't, great, that's fine, I don't care. We have a donation basket, and half the times I don't know what anybody gives. So that's my personal journey as far as these types of things go, and I've had faith for a very long time about it, and it's always worked out. As a matter of fact, we were just discussing the fact that with this methodology, I make as much as I would have if I had charged. So it's interesting how it works. I got it from my Native American friends who just kind of trust. So I trust too. So you don't have to worry. Come no matter what, and be as generous as you can, and all the materials are on me. So there you have it.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And Amy, what's happening April 22nd?
Ask Your Angels Day.
What is Ask Your Angels Day? It sounds interesting.
Okay. Ask Your Angels Day is when myself and some psychics and some other healers all get together and we do our services for $1 a minute, which is very reasonable.
Well, which psychics or practitioners are going to be joining you this April 22nd?
So, Ari Garcia, who did the wonderful show, which was our most watched show ever.
I love Ari.
Last week. She's going to be here, and you have a choice. You can book with me, you can book with Ari, and since we did dual readings last time, you can also just tell me when you book that you'd like to have both of us sitting there, and we will do that for you.
Si habla español?
We do. We do. Ari is bilingual, and so if you have a friend who, you know, one of the things about speaking English I've noticed when I travel around the world is that many people speak English, but not many people understand it. So they might have a few words, but they don't necessarily understand something like in depth about your soul. So if you need a Hispanic reader and you want to hear it in your own language, Ari is there, and she's great.
And the number is right by your head.
630-554-5040. Thank you, Vanda. And it's that number you can text or you can call. So texts are really good because then I pay attention to them. Calling is also really good. So you can call and just let us know you're coming. For that event, you do have to let us know that you're coming.
It's an appointment.
So, yeah, it's by appointment.
All righty.
Okay. Oh, and then the very next day, we're going to have our body movement, body awareness on Sunday. Dave was looking at me. Yeah, you did.
Oh, you
I
are?
forgot to tell you. So we're going to have Marilyn DeCola is going to do a 3-hour class on body awareness because her class was so amazingly popular. She's going to help you get in tune with your body and give us extended little movements, mudras and different kinds of movements, and her blending together of Qigong and Tai Chi and different body movements is just wonderful. When she did the class, I don't know about you guys out there, but we sleep in my house is hard to come by. So after she did the class, everyone went home and conked out, which is I got emails and texts from everybody. I slept, you know. So she does have CDs that you can take home, so you can do the exercises at home, and they're not taxing. Even I, who am not the most physically able, was able to do all the exercises. So it's going to be a fun Sunday, and that's from 1 to 3:30.
April the 23rd, right?
Right after the Ask Your Angels Day.
This is April 22nd.
Yes, which is April 22nd.
Okay.
He's good.
Why do I feel like Gracie Ellen? I don't know.
All right. Well, are you ready to do some readings?
Yeah. Now, one last thing. These I pre-drew the drawings because there were so very many of you, and I didn't want to disappoint anybody. And Kristin was going to be here, so if you want a picture of your drawing, you can just text me at 630-554-5040 and say, please send me my picture, and I'll take a photo of it and I'll send it off to you tomorrow morning. So you can have your very own picture. Okay.
All right. So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Our first one is Karen. She's an Aries from Oklahoma.
Okay, Karen. So Karen, you're all about love, love, love. So your drawing is here, and you have a little pink head. So it means that everything you're thinking of, everything you're doing, is from this viewpoint of love. And while you might think that that's a cool thing, it can mean that sometimes you're disappointed that things aren't working the way you would envision, you would project love is. So you might be having headaches, you might be disappointed in people. You also have intuition down at your first chakra. That's the evolutionary chakra energy I was talking
Hey, Amy,
about.
can we do an experiment? Can you tilt that down a little bit? Tilt it this way a little
so
bit,
they can
just so
see
you
the-
can.
No.
It's catching
There.
well, that's better.
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
So here she has a blending together of love and intuition. And then she has little intuitions going all over the place, which means she's getting
Much better.
sort of like when your crazy Aunt Mary decides that she's hearing voices. Sorry, Carrie. So it's like you have to learn to be discerning about the information that comes through. It's all good information, but when you have think about it like as if you had 40 telephones in the same room, and all the telephones were ringing at once. You'd go crazy batting the telephones and trying to answer them. So Karen, you have to be discerning about the information that comes through. You can write it down, or you can just tell it to stop. You can do that, and don't be disappointed. Okay, do you have anything to add about her energy?
Yeah, I just see the love energy is so expansive.
Yes.
So that's the thing, you're in this expansive field, and more of the third chakra energy can help you direct it towards what you want to.
She's singularly lacking in third chakra energy.
Yes.
There is none.
Yeah.
So it means that she's sort of like floating in time and space. So interesting. Okay,
All right.
next one.
Next one, we got Ute. She's a Scorpio from Lockport, Illinois.
Okay, Ute. Ute. Okay. Here you are, Ute. There you go. You have, you want everything to be working out the way you'd like it to be working out. You have a vision for the future. However, it looks as if a woman, a female person, is draining your energy and sucking you dry. So all that love energy is just running out, and you're having trouble maintaining. Here in your throat chakra, I put down, it says ARG. So in the throat chakra area, it's difficult for you because you want to be all about love, love, love. On the other hand, you want to scream and yell at everybody. So you might end up having things like laryngitis, throat problems, and on top of it, up in the sixth chakra area here, you're actually having visions. So you're seeing into the future. So that means the person down here who's annoying you, you can see, and you really desperately want to communicate to them about the things they need to do so their life can change. You have trouble saying what it is, and you're not really present. You're in the future, and the future is mutable. It can change. So you're actually yelling about yelling at somebody about something that they haven't done yet, but that you know damn well they're going to do, but maybe not. So you're really stuck. So in order to change this, you have to come back. It's grounding. One of the things that's a very good methodology is earthing, walking around with your bare feet on the ground. There's also a website called Earthing, and you can order magnetically aligned things that you can sit on or sleep with. When my back was really bad, I used to lay on one of their blankets all the time. Okay, Kristin, what do you think?
I'm getting boundaries. So
Good.
speaking up for what you need, and that will help shore up some of this energy leak.
What she needs instead
Yes.
of what other people need.
Yes, speaking your needs.
Okay.
And asking for that. And
Okay. I love, this is what I do when I do a reading, so I'm in my element.
All right.
Okay.
Sheila's next, a Gemini from Burlington, Wisconsin.
Okay, Sheila. Oh my gosh, Sheila, you don't know who you are. You have many, many little question marks in your tummy. We all go through, well, we're going through it right now. You go through, what am I going to do when I grow up? Or what am I going to do in order to survive? Or just what am I going to do? And so you're really kind of a little bit chronic there. When you have question marks like that in that chakra area, the physical parts can be devastating. You don't have enough energy to align your spine. You can have back injuries. You can end up with diabetes. It's actually very dehydrating to be that way. So you have to make sure to hydrate. I can't read my own writing. Involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is funny. You have a wonderful amount of new energy coming in, opportunities, but you tend to not be fully involved. Even your intuition is off to the side, so that you're not totally present in your life. You have to get back into your life and become fully involved, and then you're going to just do really good, and you're going to manifest like crazy. And that takes, I know everybody wants to run around and do things, but there's rest isn't allowed so much in our society. I would actually rest and drink lemonade and watch Grace and Frankie on Netflix. You know, I would take myself a break of like 7 days, and then your energies are going to align and you're going to be able to manifest like crazy. Okay, what do you see?
And a salt bath to just really bring you back here. And the other thing is these question marks about the future. Just tune into your next step. Sometimes what you're going to become or what you're going to actually do is not invented yet, or wouldn't make sense to you yet. So we're not given the full picture. So instead of worrying about that, just what's your next step?
Yeah, what do I do today? It's actually part of my morning meditation. So what do I do today to be the best possible servant of God? What do I do today? So, and one more thing here. You have a lot of pink energy in your tribal chakra. So your as far as your family goes, be careful not to get taken advantage of, because you're almost like childlike in that. So you're going to do just great. Okay, there you go.
All right, next up we have Joanne. She's from Yorkville.
Okay.
And I don't have to give all the information because you've already done the reading.
Well, not exactly. They have to know who they are.
Well, Joanne
Okay.
from Yorkville, who asked for a reading, will know that it's her.
Okay. You're in the next 3 months, there's an explosion here. So the chakra, the manifestation energy, is going to come in and explode. So that means you're going to go through a lot of change, good positive changes, but shifts and changes. Your heart is coming together with childlike love and more mature love simultaneously. When that happens, oftentimes you want to dig in and you don't want change to come. Because in our society, change is ew, you know. But the change is coming, and it's going to be very positive. And then it's you're looking at the past down in your tribal area. So it's past hurts, past things that people have done to you. Oneness Blessing helps with this. Ho'oponopono helps with this. Cutting the ties to the past so you can move fully into the future. And then I put down sleep because you really need some sleep. Okay. What do you see?
Well, what I'm getting is bringing in, so you have these childlike love qualities, so bring in the curiosity of a child.
Oh,
so
I love
when you're
that.
looking at the future and worried about it, bring in curiosity. Like,
Come on, bye, Joanne. Let's go shopping. It'll be so good. We can buy hair ribbons. All right, next.
Next, we have Terry Lee. She's a Leo from...
Oh no, it's the handwriting is it again.
from somewhere in Illinois.
Mantino. That's not that hard. Mantino, Illinois. Okay, Terry Lee. You're having an opinion explosion. So there's an explosion in your throat, and you have many opinions about stuff. But there's a difference between opinion and the truth. It's a horrible thing, but that's the truth. When you have an opinion about something, you rely on information that came to you not through rational thinking, but kind of like through contagion, like the flu. So you can say, here I am, an evolved person, and one of my nieces had a little boy baby. And I went like, oh, you have your boy, how cool is that? Stupid. Because all babies, the celebration should be equal, not better for a boy. But that was how I was enculturated, and it just popped out of my mouth. So now I would say, how wonderful. You have what a beautiful child. And I wouldn't go with the gender one way or another, okay? But and this was just recently, so I'm embarrassed. But it just happened. So that's what Terry Lee is doing. She has her feelings and her thoughts, but they're not really grounded in good research or good facts. So she's going through changing that. And then she has a lot of who am I right now? She might be changing jobs. She may be going into a new relationship. There's a variety of reasons, but when it's like this with all the little explosions in your second chakra area, I would be careful about digestive issues, sugar issues, because there's not enough energy there to process your daily food. So you have to be careful. One of the ways to help that is just to drink a lot of water. That really helps, and eat lower on the totem pole. And then you want to clear out down here. It's a love issue that's been bugging you probably for like 20 years. And you want to clear out the past. So again, ho'oponopono or just forgiving everybody or something like that. You don't want to be attached to it because it's taking too much energy. Okay, Kristin.
So the opinions, notice, are those opinions mostly negative, which when they come from the mind, they're often have a negative aspect to it. So just becoming aware and just bring in, if you have trouble dropping into the heart, just bring in more positive, shift into a positive perspective on it. So if your opinion is, about somebody very negative, just what's another opinion, and not get attached to the one you're in.
Kristin is one of the best relationship coaches I've ever met, so you're so lucky to have her here. Okay.
All right, Melissa's next. She's from LA.
Okay, Melissa from LA. You have issues. You have issues. It's male tribal issues. So male energy in your family has been niggling at you or weighing you down. If you're not aware of it, then it's probably from like a past life or something, but it's definitely there. This can cause knee problems. It can cause bone problems. It could throw your hip off, so you can have a hip problem. So you really, it behooves you to get rid of it. The other part is there's a lot of choices that you're going through right now. There's a large segment of yellow energy in your tummy. And, choices are good. It's not good to have no choice. But when you have a lot of choices, a lot of us freeze in time and space. We just think, oh, what if I make the wrong one? I was looking to sell my house and buy a new house. And so I was agonizing, do I have a condo or do I have a little house somewhere? What do I do? And then finally my daughter-in-law was so exasperated with me going back and forth. She said, you know what? It doesn't make a difference because if you buy something you hate, you can just sell it. And I realized I was being an idiot. So I'll just go with the Zen. And so that's the same thing with you, Melissa. And then you also are having a kind of like what Kristin does, the oneness blessing. There's a huge spiritual connection to God and spirit that's happening to you right now, which probably further compounds your idea of being successful or doing something. Because some people believe if you're holy or connected to God, that you shouldn't worry about material things. But we talked about it and solved that problem.
That's right.
Material things are good.
They're meant to be enjoyed.
They're meant to be enjoyed, and you're meant to support artists and artisans and people. It's the way our world goes round. So don't worry. You can be holy and shop. Okay.
I think the point on that is how much importance you put into material things
Yeah.
over other things,
Yeah. That's what you
says
do with
Dave.
it.
Yeah, like me, I don't have hardly any clothes. Well, Kristin has to do
Just honoring the male aspect in yourself. Because we talked about getting rid of this energy.
getting rid of the male energy.
But it's about honoring that in yourself. So see where you might be resistant to some of that energy and work with that.
It's okay to be a warrior for God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next up we have Kim, a Leo from Missouri.
Kim, a Leo from Missouri. Okay. Oh, Kim. It looks like, so your heart should be here in the middle, but your heart's down here in your tummy. And it's a lost heart. It's so when somebody loses heart, I've seen this a lot in people who worked hard at a profession all their life and then they retire. Or maybe they just get sick of it. They go into that long, dark night of the soul kind of thing. So what you've got to do is regain your heart, which means you have to find something that you're passionate about and that you enjoy. And you have to forgive you have to forgive the past if it didn't live up to your expectations. And then it says creativity never dies. So you have been, and will be a creative person. When your heart's down here in your tummy instead of where it should be, you don't have a lot of energy for creativeness. But all you've got to do is open up that door, like go visit a Michael's or someplace, and you're gonna regain that real joy. And then here you're seeing the past, and it says, "Be here now, be there now, be present," and everything is going to be just fine. Don't regret the past. Okay.
Yes, that creativity piece, again, just tuning in to see what, sometimes we freeze in the face of what do I love or what do I want to do. Just trust the guidance, first thing that comes to you. You know, I want to go on a date with myself. What do I want to do?
I want to go to Antarctica.
Ooh, me too. It's on my bucket list.
Okay. She's the first one who said that.
Really? It's on my vision board.
Me too, Antarctica. Wow. I have an Antarctic mug in my office. Somebody gifted me with it. Yeah. You want to join me? Tour guide.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Jackie's next. She's a Libra/Scorpio from Cali, Colombia.
Okay, when they say Libra/Scorpio, that means they were born on the cusp. So they actually either have the best of both or the worst of both. So cusp people are very rich in all of the different energies that they have. So she too has question marks and who the heck is she down in the second chakra area. And they're actually kind of off to the side. So this, it goes from right to left energy. So it's coming in. So this kind of crisis of who the heck am I might lead to her wanting to quit her job or change up everything in her life. It was funny because when I was doing this drawing, it came to me that any situation you find yourself in, no matter how bad you're thinking it is, it's up to you to change it. You can just change it. When I was a kid, I worked on a line in a cosmetics factory. So I was only 15, right? And they needed workers, and you know, the little belt goes down and you have to put the stuff in the bottle. I think we were capping bottles is what it was. In any case, it was horrific work and everybody's back hurt and everybody was cranky, but the belt made a sound as it was going with ch, ch, ch. So I started going, it was going ch, ch, and I started going ch, ch, ch. And then the lady went to me, la, la, la. So pretty soon, the whole factory was making all this like music with the ch, ch from the belt, and we had the best time. And that day, our production doubled.
Wow.
Because everybody was having a good time. I mean, I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was just bored. But that's what can happen. So I was thinking about this for Jackie, that any situation can change if you make it fun for yourself. Okay? And then the other thing was make a list, because you have so many visions and multiple dimensions that it can be a little overwhelming. So when you get information, just make a list. And actually, I use my phone because they have that note function. So I say, Siri, take a note. And then, I mean, my note, I have like thousands of little notes, but at least then I have them. So please, Jackie, take a note. Okay.
Yes, so this not liking, this not liking where you're at, what I've noticed is everything I've done has been useful at a future point in time.
Yeah.
So if you can look at, even if you don't like the situation you're in, know that it's supporting you for the next thing. And so when you can kind of relax into that and honor that, it can kind of help you with, all right, now what do I want to do?
Okay, perfect.
All righty, next up we have Angela. She's a Libra from Oswego.
Okay, Angela. Let's see here. Oh, this is so cool. You're believing now. You're waking up to believing in miracles. It's a beautiful thing. And you have a really, it's as if there's constantly butterflies in your stomach. I want you to know you're not really sick. What is happening is multiple opportunities are coming your way, and you're nervous about the multiple opportunities. But right here it says make a wish, because you can't just, well, most people don't know what the heck they want, right? So if you want to be a ballerina, or if you want to be a concert pianist, or what, don't be practical. Make that wish, and then some aspect of it will come true. I mean, you might meet a concert pianist, you might get a great CD, you might write a book about ballerinas, even if you're maybe too old to go on the ballerina trail, or maybe you'll just put on a tutu and have a good time. Okay.
I love this, waking up to miracles. And one way to nurture that is, in Oneness we say, if you tell at least 11 people about a miracle, and do that every day if you can, the miracles in your life start to multiply.
Wow. See, aren't you glad you tuned in? Okay.
All right, next up we have Annie, and she's an Aquarius from, I want to say, Hull, Massachusetts.
Let me see. Okay. Hull, Massachusetts. I think. It's okay, Annie. We know who you are.
Your handwriting.
I know. Do you write anymore? I don't ever write anymore.
My writing was never good.
So, Annie, it looks as if you're experiencing a form of intuitive kundalini. You can see the energy going up and through you. That's great, actually. It means you're having visions. Life is going to be good. You can draw to you what you want. If you want a good relationship, you can just have it. But unfortunately, it does tend to destabilize your physical body. People never, when people want to have this Kundalini experience, they don't realize it can take, 10, 20 years to get yourself ready. So when it just happens, it can cause butterflies in your stomach, and it can cause a certain amount of dislike for the path you've been on. Like, you wish that you had this happen earlier, and why did I have to go through all this stuff? So in your case, there's a couple of great big personality shifts that you're going to be having. It's like you're going to, well, you might be that concert pianist. You might just start something that everybody thinks that you can't do for later on in life, and you're just going to do it. So don't be afraid. It's good to have that. And you also have willpower. So it's coming in. So when you have this wonderful intuitive action, you have to be able to concretize it, make something happen. So that's what Kristin was talking about before. You have to be able to actually make it happen. So call 11 people up and tell them about your dreams. Okay, I got it.
Put it on Facebook.
Put it on Facebook. 11 people. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yes, and with this Kundalini energy waking up, some breathing practices
Oh,
or
yeah,
a
that's good.
physical yoga practice, since you have the willpower, you can do that in just a few minutes a day. You could do 7 minutes of deep breathing a day, and that will really balance you out, and a little bit of yoga.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
perfect. I actually do that as part of my meditation. Okay.
You know what I found fascinating was how you could balance the sheet of paper on the table. You were like, you put it up and then you just here, do it again. Here, do it. Here, do it. Do it. I guess it's a trick you learned,
From Dave.
but no. What?
Well, look at that.
That's pretty damn
It
amazing.
is.
Damn, I'm not supposed to do this kind of magic stuff. You didn't see it.
I can see how it's done.
Good catch. I
Finally.
didn't even notice.
Finally, something interesting on the Facebook show.
Don't try this at home.
Try this at home. It's not good. I can give you a hint.
Okay, Patty, you're next. Patty's from Ontario, Canada.
Okay, Patty. Oh, Patty has really interesting energy. Somebody's sucking her dry. See, here it is. So it's on the female side. Some female relations are taking a lot of her energy, and then as far as the rest of her family goes, she's cut them off. So that means that she's suffering from lack of supportitis. It's a very serious disease, lack of supportitis. So in order to manifest, whether we like it or not, and whether the people who support us are annoying or not, we need them. So you need people around you, even if they irritate you. You are a natural channel, and that's why you don't care so much, because your friends are invisible. And they're speaking through you. It's important that you get what they tell you down so that you can share it, because if the angel or the entity tells you something amazing, what good is it if you don't share it? You've got to share, right? And the angel that's there is Raphael, and Raphael is telling you, and believe me, I don't usually tell people to be a healer, but in this case, you actually have an ability to heal. However, by not talking to any of your relations, there's nobody to heal. So you want to be able to bring that in and then share it with everybody. Okay.
And you can start with your ancestors.
Oh, yeah.
It's very easy to connect with ancestors because they're not in the body. Any forgiveness practice you do with them happens quickly.
Yes.
So start with the ancestors and ask for their help with any of your family members that are currently living with you, or whoever the support people are that you're having issues with.
Perfect.
All right, next up, Laura, a Leo from Aurora.
Okay, Laura
That
from
rhymed.
Aurora. I know, I love
Laura
that.
from Aurora.
Oh, this is interesting. Laura from Aurora, you're like a flower child. You're about love, love, love. And actually, I actually saw flowers dripping from your hair. It's rare nowadays to be that kind of a person. You just have such a hippy dippy kind of a beautiful personality. It's just wonderful. You do have like a flower here in your second chakra area about who are you. If somebody asked who you are, you would say, I'm this, and I'm also this, and then I'm that, and I wear lots of different hats. That's your normal way of being. But right now, in order to, these lines here mean that your energy is going out to your ancestors, and you're trying to heal and help too many people. So you have to bring some of it back in and just, well, Kristin can speak to this, be the love instead of draining yourself out trying to make everybody else filled with love.
Yes, absolutely. When you fill yourself up, it's from that overflow that you
Yes.
love others.
So love, love, love. Cool.
Or, in the case of Laura, Amora.
We're having too good a time.
Oh, sorry, not from lack of sleep. Okay, Kathleen's next. She's a Leo from Indiana.
Okay, Kathleen, let's see here. Oh, well, I'm just going to say it anyway. Kathleen, you're one sexy woman. You have a great deal of sexual power. It's to be a little bit nicer, we call it goddess energy, but this is like strobing sexual power. It's similar to the kind of sexual energy that a 16-year-old male has. Okay, where they're just all about physical. Okay, so you have this. Now this is not bad. What it means is that you're actually birthing out ideas. So sexual power can be transmuted whichever way you want it to go. You don't have to turn tricks on the corner. You can actually pull the energy through you, and you can then manifest things like crazy. So don't be ashamed. That's a beautiful energy. I'm proud of you, you goddess person, you. Then you want to be patient, because the money or the power that you want to create a life for yourself and your family, it's coming. It's like actually just like June. Okay, so it's coming. Just be patient. Don't blow it. Don't be so impatient that you're going to create problems for yourself. It is coming. And then lastly, again, birthing out ideas. You might think of some inventions. You might think of new ways to do something. Go ahead and be that wonderful birth mother to wonderful ideas.
With all that energy, sometimes emotions can flip on you. You could have strong emotions come up. So being in the flow and allowing it to just move through, and moving the body a lot would really help with that. So
Boogaloo with your children.
belly dance.
Belly dance, yeah, that would be good. A good friend of mine, Felicia, she teaches belly dancing.
Candace is next. She's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay, so she's flew in. Okay, Candace. Oh, Candace. You have interesting energy. Once again, you're tired. So your manifestation energy here, you really need some R&R in order to make all this good stuff come true, bring it into your life. Because there was a saying once that if you don't have willpower, you can't manifest yourself out of a paper bag. So you need to be able to get some rest so that your will can open up. And then you too need a little bit more support. Okay, so you cut off from your support systems. You have, as annoying as supportive people can be, not that I've ever been annoyed by my support system, as annoying as they can be, you need them. They're like your anchor in life, especially since you're having this amazing positive energy come in. I even wrote down hide, because it's like a sunburst or an avalanche of positive energy, and you're going to have so many opportunities that you're going to think, I can't possibly do this because I'm too tired. So get rest, allow yourself to be supported. There you have it.
And some of that energy draining can be from resistance. So you can actually tune in and feel where you're resisting. It could be you're resisting the emotions from the support people. It could be that they're triggering something in you. But if you can start to just be aware of the resistance, any place you're in resistance in your life, and start to shift it into allowing, that'll bring your energy back.
Okay.
Because resisting takes a lot. If you feel like pushing against a wall constantly or pushing down, takes a lot of energy.
I allow abundance to come into my life. Where are you, abundance?
Right here.
Okay.
All right, Tiffany's next. She's a Pisces from Plainfield, Illinois.
Oh, Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany, you... I remember when I was sitting there, I went, oh, Tiffany. You have a dual heart energy. It means that at one time you have the heart energy of a child, and at the same time you have the heart energy of an adult, which eclipses the child, but the child's pushing back. So you have this, yay, kind of an energy. So you want to try to balance that out. We really and truly, whichever way you go is okay. I love the energy of the heart. You have a need, an absolute yearning for the truth, sort of like Dionysius with the lantern looking for the truth. It's something that's probably going to stay with you for a while. So when you're up on social media or something and you see everything about fake news, it probably makes you insane. and so you might just bombard everybody with what you think is the truth. What you want to understand is the truth is what things mean to you, which is a hard one to say, because most fact, like I read an article about Trump. It was based on one sentence that he'd said, and then there were like 27 other articles based on that one sentence. It was fascinating to see that there could be 27 takes on one sentence. That's what makes you insane. So Tiffany, you have to just chill, and then you have the ability up here in your connection to God. Your connection to God is very visceral. Like, it's not just, it's like, what do I do? So go ahead and beat God up. It's good. Because then God will show you what to do, and then you can do it, and then the world will be a better place.
It's really beautiful. Just remembering there is no such thing as absolute truth.
Yeah.
And so then you can sort of relax and allow everybody their own truth, and just that with that beautiful connection, continuing to speak your truth.
That's great. Okay, Tiffany, take care.
All right, next up is Pat from Highland, California.
Once again, if you want this drawing, just text 630-554-5040 and just say, show me my drawing, and I'll take a picture of it and text it to you. Oh, this is very interesting. So this is Patrick Mahoney, and Patrick has Archangel Michael. And in this case, Archangel Michael is magical, which is interesting. Usually we think of him as a warrior or a protector or something like this, but in this case, with you, he's taking the role of a wizard or a manifester. And so it says here, you can, here in your heart, you have the same thing our other person did, but you have the heart of a child trying to break through barriers that you have around your heart. So when I see something like this, I would think that you've been hurt and that you don't want to take a risk in opening your heart. However, you have to open your heart to move ahead on what you want to do. And then it says, change your field. You can, because Michael is magical, you can just change your energy fields back and forth. It's thought follows form, or form follows thought, I mean. So you can actually just like that, change. And it's going to be okay. If you need to change back, then just change back.
Love that. I don't have any more to add to that one. What a beautiful guide you have.
Okay,
like that.
so magical Michael.
Yeah.
All right, next.
All right, next up we have Debbie, Virgo from Yorkville, Illinois.
Okay, Debbie. Let's see here. Oh, Debbie, you have fairies. It's like cooties. No, it's elementals, but elementals can be, they want your attention. So actually, there's a little fairy here. So they're kind of like all over, whispering in your ear, talking to you. If you might just wander outside and just have all these thoughts come into your mind. This is relatively unusual because in a more materialistic society, we don't notice the elementals so much. In India, they have something called devas, which are similar to our fairies, and they're much more prevalent. But here in the United States, not so much. Then you're disconnected. So you have intuition both in the evolving chakra down in the bottom, and then from the top, but it doesn't mean anything. So you have to connect it. So you can connect it with manifestation, and that's doing something. Just you can color or something. You just have to do something, and then poof, it's going to connect, and you're going to understand what the fairies have been trying to tell you. There you have it. Okay.
And what's this over here?
Courage. that the most important thing for you is to have courage. Not that there's something bad happening, but sometimes when there's so much of a welter of things around you, you have to have courage to pick one and move forward with it.
Yeah, so just holding that intention of connection and just tuning in to see where there's a disconnection and asking for help.
Very good. Ask for help.
All right, Stevie's next. She's a Taurus from Dixon, Illinois.
Okay. Stevie. Oh, interesting. Let's see. You're the first one that I've seen, so this is a little tricky. In the evolutionary process, I was asking the angels, I know that the first one is intuition, tribal intuition, to be able to discern truth. The next one is oneness. The next one is magical or manifestation, but then I didn't know what would the fourth chakra be. So this was the first one. So Stevie, you're excitingly new. It's a power love. See? Yeah, powerful love. Love that is so powerful it's almost like volcanic. You know, it's changing the world just because you can do it. So I was very excited. So you're the first one on the evolutionary scale that I've seen have that. The problem with that is it's caused a shift or a break, sort of like an iceberg breaks and one part goes this way and the other part goes that way. So you have both this life and past lives simultaneously playing in your aura. We know in reincarnation that some people are born with past lives close under the skin, so you can actually remember your past lives. So you have that, but not only do you have that, but you can step into the past and you can step into the future, which can be a little confusing. Personally, since this is so kind of cataclysmic, this evolution, I would try to pull away from it until we can understand it a little bit better. I think it's going to be really good because I think you can go into the past and change the future, but it's complicated and not something you want to do on your own. So if it's not me, find a good teacher or somebody who's going to help you be able to navigate that. And then, magic rocks. I understand this is very weird, but what came to me as I was making your drawing was that you needed to go on a dig or look for something, because I don't think the divine would leave you in this without help. And the help was actually rocks, some kind of special, like beryllium or something, that was going to help you navigate this new energy. Strange, but good.
Interesting. Well, with that powerful heart, creation is love. So if you can remember to use the love to create, you can love away issues, you can love things into existence. So when you have this kind of heart energy, really working with it in that way is beautiful.
Can she love us some abundance?
Yes.
Down to you.
All of us.
Good.
All right, Jessica's next. She's from North Glens, Colorado.
All right, Jessica. Yes, North Glen. How about that? Okay. Okay. You had rays coming out of your eye, like Supergirl, like X-ray vision. It was whatever you looked at, you could change. So it was actually a physical thing coming out of your eye. And I put down, you have the ability to make people successful. It means that you would be an absolutely phenomenal coach. You could see very clearly what they needed to do, whether or not it made sense to anybody else. If they followed what you could see, they would be successful. I'm not so sure if you can do it for yourself, but you can definitely do it for others and charge for it. Then it's in your throat, there's a big explosion, and I put down communicate, do not yell. Because the kind of, you're so excited and you can see so clearly that you just want to like beat everyone into submission. You want to yell and holler and make them do what you want to do because you can see how they can be successful. So your challenge is to learn to use your indoor voice and to communicate clearly. And that can be hard. And then this is, you could be anywhere in the world, any culture, anywhere. You just can't be without it. You need that support system. So I wrote down choose. Interesting energy.
Yeah, that's amazing. And this piece about seeing where they can go and wanting them to be there, that's the thing. Just seeing the vision for them, but really allowing them to find their way with it. So really dropping into your heart. And
Kristin and I need you, Jessica. Give us a call. We'll listen. I promise.
All right. Next up, we have Caitlin, Leo from Everett, Washington.
Okay, Caitlin. Let's see here. Oh, butterflies. It says here that you're an earth angel, and actually you have angelic energy in your heart. Once again, this kind of thing isn't that normal, or average, I guess. Nothing is normal, but it isn't that average. So you actually have angelic energy. And then when I was in Brazil, there were these blue butterflies. They were on, what is that when they go from one place to another? Pilgrimage? No.
Migrate.
Yes, thank you, Dave. He's so good. Migration of these dinner plate sized blue butterflies, and I saw them all over you. And then they said that the spirits are talking to you through these butterflies. So it means that you're probably a natural medium, which can be, well, it's wonderful, okay? But it can be disconcerting until you really learn to manage it. But you have to remember that Mother Earth, the Earth, loves you. It was really important because the Earth just adores your energy and will always support you.
yeah, remembering that when we have that high vibration and that expansiveness, having roots to support in the earth is very helpful.
Okay. All right, Caitlin.
All right. Norma's next. She's from Chicago.
All right, let's see what this is. Oh, let's see. All your little energies just lined up so tidy. Everything was tidy in your nature. So you might be like the world's tidiest person. And the message was, be messy. What I saw was a painting, and the paint was dripping down the canvas. And you were busily trying to swab it up with paper towels so that the painting would be perfect. But the painterly aspect of the painting with the drip is perfect. And that's one of the things you have to learn, to go ahead and let things be painterly, because it does make it perfect. And then let's see what else. Oh, there was a bullseye here. This is actually interdimensional travel. It means that you can will yourself into different scenarios and understand, if you watch a TV show where they time travel, you could actually go back and be with Butch and the Sundance Kid or whatever. You could see the actual energies around it if you chose to do it. But first you have to be willing to take a risk and not be so tidy. Okay.
Yeah, the tidiness can come from control.
Yeah.
And if you're exercising control, you can't travel
Yeah.
interdimensionally. So just see the control, and it'll start to release.
It'll start to go away. And you're probably already having dreams, interdimensional dreams, which are exciting. Be sure and write them down because it's important.
All right. Excuse me. This is Mary. She's a Leo from Beloit.
Beloit.
Says
Beloit.
Beloit,
Oh boy.
Wisconsin.
Beloit, Wisconsin. Darn it, Dave. Okay. Interesting. new growth, but it says that this word is burn, burn, and sometimes you have to burn the weeds to get the new growth. So in your case, in order to have these cute little vegetations here grow up and flower and everything, you got to make room for it by getting rid of the stuff that's blocking you. So you have to go ahead and have a burn. It's not going to hurt anything because the things that are blocking you, they're over, they're done, and you just have to get rid of the weed part. And this is actually manifesting will. So you've got the will in your throat, and it's moving downwards, and it's almost all the way down to nourishing the new flowers. You're just like at a breakthrough point. Okay, Mary, what do you see?
The burn, so if you think of putting the intensity of your focus on the situation, it's like a magnifying glass
That's interesting.
on a weed with the sun, going through the magnifying glass. It burns. So that's what actually happens when you put the intensity of your awareness on the issue. It burns.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be perfect.
All right, Keith, you're next. Libra from Rockford, Illinois.
Okay, Keith. You have baby love. Honestly, I saw you playing with babies and having a good time and being. You know how a baby laughs from its belly and just smiles and I've seen like baby videos on Facebook where the baby laughs and has like 7 million hits. That's you. You have this baby love thing. You should probably make a video. And it's you have the ability with love and play to actually become a change agent. And when I wrote it down, I thought, oh my God, I haven't heard that in such a long time. Remember, it was
it was a big thing.
It was a big corporate thing, be a change agent. But you actually can do it because you can actually change people's hearts by having this baby love. So, wow. Kind of like a laughing Buddha. Okay.
Yeah, that says to me awakening.
Yeah, I love that.
That you are awakening, and that's when the senses come more alive, and as you drop more into those, change happens around you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, Keith, yay.
All righty, Margarita from Oswego.
Okay, Margarita. Oh, Margarita, this is complicated. Every once in a while, somebody, their energy system is changing because they're part of a story that's bigger than what anybody understands. And then you're going to get sacred symbols. They are part of chakras, but they're manifesting within you instead of in the more average way, in sort of the goddess way. It means you're a special player on the stage. So the divine has blocked out a certain symbology for you. It doesn't make you happier or thinner or anything like that. But it is that your energy system is moving towards an expansion. So it doesn't necessarily make everybody that you love you back because it's different. So yours is actually a triangle, and it's joining together 3 energy systems. And what came into my mind was the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So it's probably masculine, feminine, and other. What would other be? I don't really know. Spirit. Okay, I like that. Okay, and then in the middle is a beautiful new identity of who you are, or who we can all be. That merging together of sexuality, of viewpoints, of coming out to be able to actually understand each other, which I thought was impossible, but that's what you're doing. And then it says here on the side, put it together. Put it all together. Write it up and let me know.
Yeah, what was coming up for me was mystery.
Yeah.
Like you have the capacity to really acknowledge, enter the mystery of life. And from that place, everything becomes magical.
Wasn't there saying like an enigma within a something within a some? It's like it's not going to be easily understood, nor should it.
No.
It's just that you just have to move with that energy, and it's going to be great. And oh, you know what? Interestingly, movement body mudras, things like that are going to be very helpful to you. Okay.
Alrighty, next up we have Carrie, Virgo from Joliet.
Okay.
And if I can say something really quick, since you looked at your watch there, we've got a whole lot of readings. So we're going to have to split this up into 2 shows.
Producer Dave.
Yes. So we're going to have about 5 more minutes of readings.
Okay.
And then
So
we're
don't
gonna
be disappointed. We'll start off the next show. We'll finish up the chakra readings. Okay? All right. And if you already had your reading, I'll put up what next week's readings are going to be, and we'll make them a little bit more simple. All right. So, Carrie, it looks like you're asking what God wants. Did you ever do that? Like, what are you thinking, God? Why am I here, and why am I not happy? You want to know what God wants, but you have this opportunity to bring it down into your first chakra area and manifest it. So it's like you have the ability to make power plays to God. Once you understand what's wanted of you, you can manifest yourself really good. Okay.
What God wants actually is what you want.
Oh, darn, I hate that.
So just make sure you're not like putting aside your desires, thinking there's something else, but honoring your desires because that's given to you from God.
I like that because I once did a paper on what is holy according to like 10 different cultures.
Oh.
And it varies crazily. So it means that we impose what's holy on us, and God is just about love.
Yep.
Simple.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, Christine's next. She's a Virgo. Virgo cusp Leo. How interesting. From Parts Unknown.
Okay. Let's see here. Christine. Christine, my goodness. You're leaking red energy, so that means that you're probably having some skeletal problems. You really have to stop that. So you stop it by grounding. That's probably the very, very bestest way. I would really suggest that you don't do very many painkillers because the pain that's associated is not going to be cured until you stop the leakages. And this kind of leaking down here is usually tribal things, like the family always being in trouble and always having to give to your family and taking care of things and being the one who rushes to everybody's defense or to help everybody. It's not that I want you to abandon everybody, but you have to take at least a half an hour a day or so for you and put your feet on the ground. There's also other ways. If you go up on the earthing website, earthing.com, they have ways where you can like run a wire from a copper mat and put your feet on that, and they don't sell it to you. They just show you the way to do it. It would be very good for you to help your bones. You have the ability, whether or not you know it, to be a really good writer because you're having visions. But what you need to do, the visions are incomplete, so you have to have detail. So in other words, if you see a spirit, what color eyes do they have? What color hair do they have? What's their demeanor? Are they short and fat? Are they tall and thin? You want to add as much detail as possible. It's the same with visions. As a psychic, until I learned to flesh out my visions and what I could see, I wasn't really worth very much. But when I learned to go, and at first I was like, oh, it's my imagination. Well, damn straight it is. You have to have imagination in order to do what I do. God gave it to you to be able to flesh out the story. So this is fleshing out the story, and then add as much detail as possible. Okay.
We add detail all the time, as you said. We only see 1% of everything, so we're constantly doing that. So being aware. The other thing was ancestral work.
Oh yeah.
Again, here, and we do a lot of ancestral processes.
In the oneness.
In our center, and very powerful.
Okay.
All right, let's finish up with Norma from Glasgow, Scotland.
Glasgow. Ooh, it's Glasgow. You've not been there.
Well, then it should have a Z instead of an S. There you go.
Okay, so Norma, you're an Aries, which is really good. Okay, you're a really unique person in that for you, music is something that makes you fierce. You would be like Vivaldi in the Four Seasons. You have that power behind the music. Actually, I know it's trite, but you would do good with bagpipes. Anything that raises the juices in your soul. It's important to you to feel alive, to have that kind of agape, and it's music that does it for you. It says, do not war because it's fun. So people like you who really enjoy that rush of energy might enjoy a good old-fashioned fight and a war, just because you like growling and being powerful, okay? So what your job in this lifetime is to be that peaceful warrior, and you're not going to like it, but to be that peaceful warrior, to take a deep breath. So social issues nowadays, we're all really into that. You might be the warrior on social issues. You might be the person who makes sure that your town cleans the streets and does all that kind of thing. You want to take a deep breath, and instead of worrying all the time, try to be a little bit more understanding and maybe tone down the music a little bit. Go for spring instead of fall or summer in the Vivaldi suite. And then lastly, this is so funny, you actually had a peace symbol on your head. Mm-hmm. So your job is to find a way with that warrior soul of yours to find peace.
And one way to do that is to be the warrior, to look inside.
Oh, I like that.
So whatever is coming up for you, being with what's inside and fully confronting it. Yeah, it takes courage. It takes a warrior.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you, Kristin.
Thank you.
It was great fun, and we'll continue next week, and I'll post the new set of readings. Love you. Love everybody. Okay, take care.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
well, hold on. Kristin, how do we...
Get a hold of Kristin.
That was weird.
We both did it together.
Yeah.
How did they get a hold of you, Kristin?
floweringheartcenter.org.
And the link's right on the Facebook page.
That's right.
Okay.
All righty. And don't forget, everybody, see you tomorrow night here at 83 Century Drive in Oswego, dowsing class at Amy's mediumship and psychic development class.
Isn't he wonderful?
Yes.
I'm just a peach. See you next week, everybody.
Bye.